Yoro Kobe Shonen, it's me, your not so favorite bad power scaler on the internet. Today I have a character for you guys who I have been meaning to cover for a pretty good while now, and several people have suggested her before, so I think it's high time for me to step up and lock in. So, welcome everyone to How Far Could Madoka from Madoka Magica Get in Dragon Ball? But before we truly start, you know the drill by now, it's time for your obligatory spoiler warning, because nothing is more annoying than suddenly getting spoiled on major abilities and plot points of an anime you want to watch, right? So please be aware that I will be talking about abilities and plot points that might spoil a bit of the franchise. So if you want to watch the show or read the source material first before continuing this video, please by all means do so. But with that little warning out of the way, let's take a look at what kind of person Madoka actually is. Madoka is the typical type of 8th grader you can really find anywhere. She cares about her friends, she loves to have fun, and she has a generally kind heart. And thanks to her gentle and kind demeanor, she never has to worry about running out of friends. She always wants to go out of her way to help and comfort people as best as she can, even if it sometimes does end up negatively for her. After becoming a magical girl, she begins taking more confidence in her actions as well as becoming less scared and anxious of the troubles that she encounters. Madoka first appears as a rather naive, gentle girl from a kind family, but as we just said, this changes when she becomes a magical girl. She is shown to be a level-headed person, capable of making decisions on her own without needing other people to really choose for her. But her being naive does bring certain troubles. For example, she can be very easily manipulated by others preying on her insecurities and desire to just really help everyone she meets. In layman's terms, she's just too nice for her own good. But after becoming a magical girl, she also grows as a person and becomes a force for the general good of her world. Alright guys, let's get into Madoka's actual abilities. And let me tell you, this was a lot harder to write down than I initially thought it would be. Because turns out, Madoka Magica is a lot more complex than I thought. Who would have guessed, right? But from the way I always understood it, a magical girl's powers in Madoka Magica stem from the combination of what you wish for and the circumstances surrounding you making the wish. In the case of Madoka, in the original timeline at least, she forms a contract with Kyubey to become a magical girl to save a cat that got run over. And yes, original timeline, because why wouldn't this already complex series make things more complex with alternate universes? Man, I sometimes truly hate my life when making these videos, right? But back on topic, one of the powers she attains is the power to heal people, which is probably a result of her wish, her personality, and the circumstances surrounding her actually making the wish. Her main source of power is light manipulation. She can shape and use light into various forms. Some examples of this are light that quote-unquote purifies and instantly kills enemies, light that heals and removes status effects, as well as physical light constructs like arrows that she shoots from a bow. And speaking of arrows, Madoka's main battle style is through the use of a bow and arrows. These arrows can travel through time, turn into duplicates of Madoka herself, and weaken those that are struck by them. Madoka can fire hundreds, if not thousands of these arrows at once, and this ability becomes even more stupidly powerful as Ultimate Madoka. But by far her most busted and broken ability is conceptual manipulation. As a goddess, which she eventually becomes by the way, she has become a concept called the Law of Cycles, being the ultimate embodiment of hope in the universe. Through this, Madoka has become a singularity for cause and effect that exists outside of the multiverse and its infinite timelines. And she is able to rewrite any law that she wishes. She can pretty much do damn near anything. A big example of this ability in use was to erase the concept of witches across the entire multiverse and create a quote-unquote heaven that other magical girls go to when they die. She has some other abilities such as summoning a doppel, something akin to a familiar to aid her in battle, raining down pink feathers to heal all her allies, and although this is never actually shown, but it's likely to be the case, she should have access to every ability of the other magical girls as Ultimate Madoka, since they do get absorbed into her after their death, and this would include abilities like Homura's time travel, Todd's ability to infinitely increase her attack power, and for example Mommy's ribbons that nullify magic, among other abilities. But I am a tad hesitant to just use these abilities in in this video, since like I said, she has never been shown using them, unless I am forgetting something really obvious, right? In which case, just chew me out in the comments down below. But I did want to actually mention this because, you know, it's highly likely that she could use them, but I'm just going to say that it's not confirmed to my knowledge, right? And before I forget, we need to talk about soul gems. A soul gem is a gem unique to magical girls. This gem contains the actual soul of the user, their quote-unquote, you know, true body, so to speak. This gem allows them to control their physical body from a distance. A soul gem works from roughly 100 meters away, and most magical girls just opt to wear their soul gems as some kind of jewel when they transform. A soul gem allows the user to shrug off normally fatal wounds to their physical body, but if the gem itself is damaged or destroyed, the magical girl will die. So this is both a powerful defense as well as a glaring weakness, because if an enemy arrives with the wit and general like battle IQ, I suppose, to realize the soul gem is their weakness and he ends up destroying it, they will lose then and there. But let's just look at some feats and qualifications for Madoka, and more specifically her ultimate form. Base Madoka is already pretty strong herself. She is comfortably sitting around a planetary level of attack potency, so if you want my unprofessional opinion, I would say Base Madoka is somewhere between the Frieza and Cell sagas, I think. But Ultimate Madoka is in a league of her own. She has become an entity far above anything in Dragon Ball. She resides in a plane of existence where nobody can even interact with her. From her little safe haven, she can shoot her arrows through time and space to pretty much do anything she wants with them. At this point, she can manipulate reality, life, fate, dimensions, space, you name it. She can see everything that has happened, is happening, and will ever happen across every conceivable universe. And you know, like, the problem with characters like Ultimate Madoka is that the only people who can conceivably beat her abide by the same bullshit rules as she does. Some that come to mind are Butler from Umineko, who is also basically a godlike entity, Federine from Umineko, and Higurashi, who has similar specs to Butler because she's like from the same verse, right? I'd even say Toma from the Towaru franchise if you take his powers at face value. Doctor Who could probably pull something out of his ass, but you get my point, right? Dragon Ball does not have a character that just pulls stuff like that out of their ass. They just don't. Not even Zeno is manipulating reality to the level of Ultimate Madoka. And just so you know, Ultimate Madoka loses the only weakness a magical girl has. She no longer has a soul gem laying around who can snipe. She just really becomes this unbeatable, untouchable, omnipotent entity that just shits on pretty much anything. Maybe I am just missing something blatantly obvious, but I cannot think of a single character in Dragon Ball that could conceivably stop Ultimate Madoka in the tracks. Like, I've seen some people online, like, argue that maybe, you know, Capsule Corp Goku from Heroes could do it, but, you know, I don't consider Heroes to be canon. I think it's not a good idea to include it in power scaling videos like this one. But there's also people that say that maybe, you know, Infinite Zamasu could do some stuff, because he did, like, you know, leak through time a bit. But I'm gonna be real with you, I don't think either of these characters, even if you consider, like, the Heroes timeline to be, like, something you can use in these types of videos, I don't think they could win. You know, explain to me how they would beat this. Like, I'm very curious how you think they could beat her, because I don't really see it, so be sure to let me know. But you know, that's just my take on things, of course. I personally think she deserves to join the top tier of my list, as I think she would pretty much solo level the shit out of Dragon Ball. But yeah, what do you guys think? Did I make some good points during this video, or do you think I am completely full of shit, which is also possible, right? So, you know, either way, let me know your take on the matter in the comments down below. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's video. As per usual, I truly do appreciate every single viewer that takes the time out of their day to watch my content. It just makes, you know, the process of writing the script, recording it, editing it, making the thumbnail, it just makes it worth it to know that, you know, even a couple of hundred people, you know, enjoy the video. It makes me a very happy boy. And on that topic, if you would like to see more of my content in the future, please consider clicking the subscribe button, turning on all notifications for my channel, you know, yada yada yada. You know, subscribe if you want to. I don't want to beg for subscribers. Just if you subscribe, there's less of a chance you miss another video. Simple as that, really. But guys, work hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty, and I will see you all again in the next video. Peace out.